Welcome back to Blackberry Glen and the channel, and I am excited to share with you the latest update here going on at Blackberry Glen. We've got a lot to show you here since the last upload. Last time we did this, I think we were just finishing up some insulation, and we've made a lot of progress since then, so I'm excited to share with you. So with no further ado, let me turn the camera around and give you a little tour. All right, so first thing I want to point out is on the front of the house, you're going to see all that brick up there. We have quite a bit of brick going onto the home right now. Main goals right now is the whole upper section. You might be wondering why they're doing brick up there and not down below. We need to get all of the brick on the top section done. We're now in just past Thanksgiving, and we need to get to the point where we can get a roof on. And so they need to get all that upper brick done and that whole section up there besides the brick. And they got to get all the siding on the dormers up there. And then the chimneys in the back, they got to get the stone on. They got to basically get that whole area done so that they can finally get roofing on and be done with that section of the home and then focus on the lower part. So that's the focus now, and really happy with the way the design's coming out. Let me kind of zoom in here. The thing I want to point out on the design, you'll see in a few places. When we first designed this home, share a couple things with you. When we first the original plans, we weren't doing brick, actually. The original plans of this home were going to be kind of a traditional board and batten, kind of a modern farmhouse look. And as we were developing this, and even the final plans have that, we decided, you know, we actually don't want to go that route. One is I feel like that look is kind of getting a little outdated. It's been kind of overdone, I guess you would say. Some people like it. I mean, I still like it, but I think it's kind of one of these things that you're going to know that those homes were built during that window of time. Secondary, we also wanted to build a home that was a little bit less maintenance. So doing brick is going to be less maintenance, as well as a home that we know will last for many, 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 many years into the future. And we are building a home that we hope to pass on to our kids one day and grandkids, etc. That's the kind of home we're building right now. So we wanted to do brick. But we do like the look of the board and batten. So I went online to see, are there any brick homes that have ever been designed to look kind of like board and batten? And to my surprise, I didn't find anything. I could not find a single home ever designed that's at least online that shows kind of a board and batten design in the brick. So I said, okay, well, I'll design it. So that's what we did. And if I come back up here, you're going to see in the brick, as I zoom in, you'll see those vertical areas of brick that are sticking out that look like battens, like in a board and batten. And you'll see up top there, it's moving into a herringbone in the peak there. So the style that we're doing is more of a, I guess you would call it a transitional modern farmhouse, I guess you would say, is if you want to think about it. You could see like there's elements of transition home, like you could see the brick corbels, that where the brick kind of comes out on an angle on the sides there, or sloped out, I guess you would say. That's more of a transitional style home. So I kind of named this home style-wise, consider it more of like a luxurious, if you want to, because it is a little more upscale home, luxurious transitional modern farmhouse, if you want to think of it that way. So let me kind of give you a tour around the outside of the home and let you see all of the updates. I'll just kind of do a whole walk around, and then I'll take you inside to see the updates. So as we come around here, the garage, and you're going to see everything is kind of sealed up now. We have plastic outside because I'll show you when we go inside. They've been doing drywall. They started that about a week and a half or so ago and made a lot of progress with that. But as we come around, you're going to see this whole side, the brick is done on. And really like the way this came out. And again, maybe from this angle, I can zoom in on the back of the garage here, or the side here, and you see that design in the brick elements. And then as we look at this peak up here, we see all that herringbone. And then we made what looks like a vent. It's not a vent, but it looks like a vent using the brick. So kind of some fun designs here. Come all the way around the back. This is one of my favorite views of the home, just from back in this corner. Just the way the roof line is. It's just such an interesting angle. And you'll see as I come around, we also did this band wrapping around you can see under the window there, that block band. Now what's interesting is, I'll tell a quick story, is that the band was originally designed to look like, let me show you over here on the model, the sample. You can see if I zoom in there, the band where the bricks on the top and bottom of the band were horizontal, like you see here. They're, you know, just standard bricks, just kind of pulled, just proud of the vertical bricks, what they call the soldier row. And if you look at the band we actually did, we didn't do it that way. We ended up doing it where the band, the top and bottom, have the bricks on end, which I like much more. Now, quick story is, I wasn't really aware we were going to change that. I guess there was a miscommunication, and I showed up and I saw it being done, and I kind of freaked out at first because I'm like, wait, that's not what we designed. Long story short, I contacted the builder, like, oh, we did it wrong, and then I backed up. I said, you know what, actually I like it better, so leave it the way it is. But sometimes you see things, and my lesson was I kind of responded a little too fast to what I saw, but because it wasn't actually what we originally designed. But I guess it was a miscommunication. Bottom line is I like the way it came out much more than what we had originally designed there. So that's what they're doing all the way around. And let me turn the camera. So here we are. Let me zoom back out. And we'll kind of come around. You'll see now they're working on the bottom section here. And the reason they're working on the bottom versus back up top, because I have more to do up top, let me go in front of the truck here, is on the gable, on this side of the house, there's another big gable that needs to be done, and they started it, but they're pausing it because they realized there's one more penetration they have to put through the wall, and they need to do that before the brick goes up. So they moved the brick guys down to the bottom, and I think that penetration will get done first thing this week coming up. That last penetration is we have to have an intake air for the main fireplace. Because the house is built so tight, you know, when you have a fireplace running, it needs fresh air to come into the home. And if a home is built real tight, you need to supply that air for the fireplace to run. So that's what that is. That's an intake that'll bring fresh air into the main fireplace so that it can burn properly. And that still needed to be put in, and so they got to do that this week. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk back over to where the upper garage is, because that's where we can go into the home. I guess I'll just go all the way around again, just from this side. And one thing I'll share with you also is, as I come around this side of the house, you'll see we have a porch on this side of the home. And on the original plans, we didn't have a porch here. We didn't have a porch on this side. It was actually just a wall with a window there. And that was something we added once we started construction. I made the decision to turn that into a porch. Now, another thing that was kind of fun that happened, I'll share with you. You'll notice this porch, it has what's called a hip roof, slope and then sloped. So when we originally designed this porch, it did not have that. It was just a flat roof, kind of like that one right there, okay? Call that a shed roof. It was just straight across, which meant, let me turn the camera up. If that was straight, that means it was gonna have this kind of side that would have to have sidings on it. And that's the way it was designed. And I didn't really like that. I didn't really care for that idea, but I didn't know what to do about it. And then one morning I wake up, and first thing in the morning, I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw a picture of a house that had that. And I said, wow, that's really nice. I like that. I called up that morning immediately the foreman, or the project manager, I should say, because I knew they were framing it. Now, we've been waiting for months to build this. It just so happened the morning that they're starting to frame it, I'm like, oh my God, I want to change it. And I called them. If I had waited another couple hours, it would have, not that it would have been too late, they would have already framed it the way it was. And of course you could have changed it, but I caught them just in the nick of time. In fact, I heard him when I was talking to him on the phone, I hear him tell the guy, stop what you're doing. We need to make a change. And we changed that at the last second and made that change to the porch roof there. But it's pretty interesting as you're building, you know, ideas come to you, and hopefully you catch them early enough. You catch things early enough that you can adapt. Another thing I'll point out here, let me turn the camera around. Finally got our front door put in. There's our front door. You can see it from the outside. It's really spectacular door. Really, really like it. The reason I say it's spectacular, it's 10 feet tall, so it's pretty cool to walk up to it like that. So, all right, let me go into the house and walk in and show you how things look now that it actually feels like a home inside. We got drywall in. Now, they probably got another week and a half or two. I think about a week and a half to do all the finishing work. But all the sheetrock is up. All the mudding, or the initial mudding, has been done. So here we go. Let me turn the camera around. And we're going in through the main garage. And so we are in the main garage right now, or the main level garage. And here's another thing. I don't know if I've shared this in the past, but the original garage was designed with a flat roof. It did not have this open dormer here. So that was something once we started, we weren't framing this yet, but we were at a point, a possibility we could vault the ceiling, because I knew we had all that space up there. Is there a possibility that we could turn that into actual usable light source up there, not just a decorative dormer, and you see that we did do that. Made it really nice. So we're actually building this space out as a usable space beyond just being a garage. It'll be conditioned, air conditioner, heater, lighting, all that kind of stuff. So that we like to entertain, big family, Thanksgiving, that kind of stuff. And this space could actually be used, or maybe for birthday parties, that kind of thing for kids, grandkids. But that's the purpose of it. One fun thing I really put in this house, I'm a car guy, and one thing that's always useful is to have compressed air. So it was pretty easy to add, but it's a neat feature. We added the wall, these places, to hook up a compressed air. We added that. It was actually pretty reasonably priced to do something like that, but it's kind of cool to have that in the garages up here and down in the basement as well. All right, so let's continue on as I come in now. And here we go. This is going to be the laundry room, laundry space, as we come in off the garage. And right off the garage as well, we liked having the powder room here. We wanted it here. Originally, we were designing it where in the hallway, there would have been a door here in the hallway to enter the bathroom. And one thing I don't like for guest bathroom to be opened up to the main living space. In our previous home, one of our previous homes, that was the case, where the bathroom was right off the dining room. And it was never great for people to go use that bathroom, if we were having an event or something. So giving a little privacy to have it off this area. And there's no open door from the bathroom into the main living space. We're coming up to the foyer, or foyer. My wife always corrects me on that. Here we are with our stairwell. And again, here's that front door. It's covered in plastic now for the work they're doing. And here is that incredible slider that we put in. Again, this is another thing that was not in the original plans. The original plans had a standard height, 8-foot tall slider here, and then windows above, 4 windows, transom windows up there. That was the original design. If you look at our plans, that's what it looks like. And that was something I decided to change when I started doing a little more research on what we wanted to use here, and decided we wanted to do this big, beautiful slider. And it's really spectacular. Everybody has it's really cool looking. At least I think it is. And here we are looking towards the kitchen. Open concept, obviously here. And these 2 doors, this one and this one, these will also be arched like this. The arches will go in after the pockets doors are put in, because I want to make sure the arches match the shape of the glass that's going to be in the pocket doors. All right, so here we have our dining space. And as we come around, they still got to do something in here. That's why the sheetrock's not on that wall yet. And then obviously the great room. People ask how tall these ceilings are. These are 14-foot ceilings, which I think is perfect. If you're looking for a really tall ceiling, but not overly tall, like many homes have this kind of great room. They're a 2-story home, and they literally have it 2 stories tall, and it's like 22. It's just enormous, and it just feels like you're in a giant cavern as far as I'm concerned. It just feels too tall, and I felt like 14 feet is just, wow, it's big, it's tall, but it's not like, oh my God, I'm in a cathedral. As well as when we look at the transition kitchen, this wall up here, it's not overly tall as well. So just those things taken into consideration. I feel like it's still cozy enough, even though it's pretty large. All the other ceilings are 10 feet high, except for the foyer is 12, and the laundry room is 12. Laundry room was originally supposed to be 10, but we had the option of going to 12, so we just did. As we come down this space here, this will be a little office here for my wife. Nice corner space that she'll have. Right off the kitchen, which is what she wanted. So she has her office, and then to the right, this door will take us out to patio where the barbecue grill and stuff will be. This will be a back kitchen, servery, little door out to the garage for groceries, and then back out to the main kitchen space here. All right, so if we go this direction, this is kind of fun. This is now entering kind of the primary suite area. One thing we did, which was called a groin vault. Let's see how good this comes out on camera. But you'll see the ceiling there has this kind of cool, if it doesn't come out real well, just Google groin vault, and that's what this is. Okay, and then as we come across here, and again, this is, even though you see a door there, in the final home, you won't see that. It'll be a hidden door. As we come to the right, we have here hall closet, and then this will be the main guest room. And all the rooms are en suite, so we have its own bathroom here as well, back in this area. As we come back down this hallway, this will be entering the primary bedroom. Coming in, and here we go. Primary room. There we go. Tall vaulted ceiling. Sliders out to the deck. And all right, and then here's our fireplace as well. Then as we come down this direction, coming into the primary bathroom, where this will be all sinks and counter, etc. And bath area, shower, toilet, all the normal stuff. And then right here, this will be entering the closet. This is the, and it'll also serve as a, not just a closet, but a vanity area for my wife onto the left here. And then again, we did this door because when we're doing laundry, we want to be able to take the laundry out and just take it directly out, so we don't have to drag it through the bedroom. So that's the main floor layout. It's got everything we wanted for the main space. One thing we made a point of doing when designing this home is none of the bedrooms are excessively large. All the rooms are pretty moderate in size. We made sure we put most of the square footage in the main living spaces, the open area, because we do a lot of family stuff, and that's where we wanted to use most of the square footage. Out on, we have this patio outside here, and this, obviously the great room, and then we'll go downstairs as well. You'll see the bedrooms are maybe even a little on the small side, and they work out perfect for us. It's something we prefer. So let's. All right, so now we're going down to the lower level, and here we are in the rec room, great room, whatever you want to call it, game room, TV room, football room, whatever. This area will be, the plan is at least maybe a pool table here or something. We have a little area for a bar back here. We got our game room, gym area, and then back here, a couple guest bedrooms. Now, one thing I'll point out is you'll notice how sunny it is in this room, as well as the next room I go into. And the reason that is because there's nothing blocking it. On the original plans, if you look up here, you'll see, it's hard to see, but right here is a deck. You saw that from outside. And we have the deck on the side of the house, on that side of the house, there's a deck as well. Originally, this deck wrapped all the way around. We look at the original plans, we had a deck that wrapped all the way around. And that was another decision I made after we started the process, like, hey, when do you want to change that? Because I realized with that deck, it was going to go out pretty far. these rooms would be pretty dark. There wouldn't be much sunlight coming in here, and we like a lot of natural light. So with that being said, we decided to split the deck off and reconfigure the way the deck was. And again, even in this room, you see we got lots of natural light. And here you can see on this side, there's the deck out here. Now it's not covered yet, but on this side, there would have been a deck going way further out, and it would have just really blocked a lot of the sun. On these kind of style homes, when I've seen them in other places, that's one thing I don't particularly care for, is all that area under the deck is always so dark and gloomy, and I didn't want that. So it's really important for us to have a lot of natural light. As I come down the hall here, you'll see it's really bright in this space back here. This is the lower garage, and even though we're fully closed in, we got a lot of natural light. Now the doors we're going to put on this garage will be glass panel doors, so we'll have lots of natural light in this space, which is great because this is where my office is going to be as well. Okay, so that is, oh, and then one more thing I'll show you. Here, I think I've shown this to you before in the past, and here is the future bunk room. We're gonna have some bunk beds in here for grandkids, that kind of stuff. A lot of fun, a lot of good memories being generated in this home. I'm sure there'll be lots of fun between grandkids and family and friends, etc. That's the whole plan, at least. All right, so you can see now we're at this point where drywall is in. Next moves are, they'll finish up the drywall probably next week or two. Once drywall is done, I think on the inside, the next move is they come and prime it all, prime the paint, put paint primer up. I know that the garage doors need to get installed soon, so they're gonna prime this. I gotta get the brick on the outside done where the garage doors are. I imagine by the next time I do an upload, we should have garage doors in, maybe some of the trim work going in, maybe the crown molding potentially will be starting to go in, some of those kind of finishes. I imagine by the time I do a next upload as well, I don't know, we may be done with the brick by that point, a month from now. Maybe not. I know they thought about 2 to 3 months to do all the brick, and we're about 3-4 weeks into it now. And then I wouldn't be surprised also by the next time I do a video, we have some roofing going on as well, and the dormers sided, so we should have a lot of neat stuff happening, a lot of progress happening. And they also shared with me that from the point of drywall, which we're at now, we're looking at 8 months is usually the case. It's about 8 months before we're ready to move in. So that puts us around July or August. That will finally be at a point after almost 3 years of working on this. So it's been, well, I shouldn't say 3 years working on it. We 3 years since the start of this whole process, but we broke ground, well, was it August of last year, so a little over a year now. So before I wrap up here, let me just give one more last look. Let me walk up the driveway here, and this will be the view you see as I turn around here as you're coming up the driveway and making the left turn from our driveway. This is what you'll see. I find it kind of interesting also that the house right now is a negative of what it's going to be, meaning the roof is white and the walls are black, where when it's done, all the walls will be white and the roof will be black, or almost black, slate material. Being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the update. That's the latest going on here at Blackberry Glen. You guys have a great one. If you enjoy this, subscribe, see the updates. If you want to see the past, go back to look at some of the previous videos of this whole process going on. It's been a lot of learning, a lot of experiences in this process of building a home, and it's been great so far. So thanks for watching. You guys have a great one.